This month for the Smash Our Stash collaboration, we are finishing unfinished projects. Hey, it's Beth. Welcome. This is the Smash Our Stash collaboration. This is a small collab that I host that encourages you to use up items in your stash that might be oft forgotten or hoarded. There is a playlist linked in the description box below for you. You can check out the other participants. But basically, each month we have a different prompt or theme of items that we are supposed to try to use, smash if you can, but at least use from your stash. And this month was unfinished objects. So it's not something that you're going to use up or smash necessarily, but we all have projects that tend to get left around, works in progress that we started because it seemed like a great idea. We ran out of time, we put it aside, and then we just haven't come back to it. I have a variety of those. And what I am going to do is I will throw up a picture of kind of how it started, in its unfinished state, and then how it's going now. So I think the first thing, these were all items that I had in a bin on my desk that I would just toss them in and think I was going to come back to later. And so now is that time that I am coming back to them. So the first thing that I had thrown into my bin was bookmarks that I had created using scraps, I think earlier in the year from another Smash Our Stash challenge theme. And all they needed were the tassels. I thought about saving them for the fibers month, which is coming up later in the fall, but I just decided I wanted them out of my bin and to create some room. So I went through and grabbed some yarn and managed to get tassels on them. I think I need to go and round corners on them yet, so they're not totally finished, but they're a lot closer, and rounding the corners shouldn't take too long. I had just forgotten to do that part. So bookmarks, done. The next thing that I think I threw in there was the fishing stash. I had created these when I was working on practicing or testing out one of my no scrap sketches, and kind of just got them done to make sure that the cutting guide and the card sketches worked, and then just never came back. I wasn't sure what to decorate them with and just left them. So I did get those finished. So we have two 3-inch Post-it note holders, and then a 1.5-inch Post-it note holder. Did get the pad added and the closure on, so that was good. Those are completely done. And then I have the 2 cards as well. So those were, I don't want to say they were easy, quick, not necessarily quick, because I had a hard time figuring out what I wanted to put on these. And then next up was a variety of scraps that I had the intentions of turning into either Christmas, gift tags, or mini cards, just general mini cards. And I can't necessarily say that these are done. I do still want to for sure add something to the Christmas ones. A couple of these are done, completely embellished. They just needed embellishments. And then a lot of these mini cards I'm going to leave as is, but some of them I do think could use a little bit extra something. I did find some other scraps in my stash that I was able to use up as well, to create mats on a lot of them. Most of these are 3-inch mini cards. There are a handful, I think, that are 2 3/4 based on the scraps that I had. So again, they're not all done, but I think most of them are. And then within that, I also had this collection of scraps and tags that I had punched out of a pad cover. And my thought is to use some of these scraps up on these cards, and then see, and maybe some of the scraps I can use to decorate these little tiny tags. So I will continue to work on those. Next was the school album, and that album itself was completely decorated. All I needed to do was punch the holes in. So I measured like about an inch in from each side, found the center, punched holes, and then used this top cover was the first one I did, and used that as kind of a guide to get the holes punched on all the rest of the album pages, and then found some binder rings in my stash that would work to hold it together. So that one is done. And then we had the gold card set, and these were made from scraps that I had left over after finishing off a collection, and I had used up the scraps and then hadn't had a chance to add all they needed were embellishments. So that's what I did. I have a happy birthday to you sentiment. It's one that I have printed from my silhouette. I just punched those out with a circle punch, and then also used a circle punch to punch out a gold matting layer. And then this set is complete. And then I had this last scrap card, and I found a cut apart or two different cut aparts in my stash and just kind of layered those up for completion of that one. And then the last cards were there's two different pictures that I'll kind of show you here. One was from Kendra's Card Challenge cards that I made, and I just needed to fix the sentiment. And then the other one was from another No Scraps sketch set that I needed to add embellishments to. So these were the ones. Happy Birthday was spelled wrong on the cut apart, and so I just found two pre-stamped sentiments in my stash that fit over the top of the misspelled Happy Birthday on the cut aparts and finished those off. These, again, I had used to test out a No Scrap sketch set, and they just needed sentiments, so I added Happy Birthday like inside the squares on all of them, and then just added some like scrap vinyl circles that I had, or vinyl circles that I had cut out of some scrap vinyl. So I didn't smash everything or didn't complete everything that I had hoped to. Like I said, these are still kind of a smaller work in progress, but I did manage to clear out that kind of work in progress bin, unfinished projects, UFO, whatever you want to call it. I think we all call it something a little bit different, but I did manage to get a lot of it done and out of the bin, and now I just need to actually do something with it, put it away, get it donated, whatever. So that is a project for another day, though. Again, please be sure to check out that playlist linked in the description box below to see what everyone else has finished this month. Thank you so much for your time, and hope you all have a very crafty day.